Kokichi was motionless for about a week or so. I didn't even know what I was feeling. I felt like everything that was important to me just left me alone and made it so I wouldn't have it ever again. I can wish and dream for it to come back, but in the end, it depends on if life wants to give me it back. My thirst for blood grew every day. I didn't take any from Kokichi because I don't want to do something like that without his permission. Cathy suggested that I eat small animals' blood, or even some of hers, but none of that would work, and I think she knew it too. All I could do was sit next to his motionless body and wait for something to happen, wait for him to come back, wait for a miraculous event to take place. Waiting felt so draining of my emotions, as well as my physical strength. I didn't hear anything from Kokichi through the duration of these past weeks, but I do know one thing. Kokichi wants to come back to me, because the one thing I am still able to monitor with him is his emotions. Whatever he was feeling, I could feel as well. He felt intense fear. I wanted to shake him awake, but I knew that wouldn't help. He was in a pause, like all of his emotion was put on hold for the time being, as all time seemed to slow. Minutes felt like days, and days felt like years. All that was on my mind was my worry and fear for Kokichi. And I couldn't tell if he felt the same. In my heart, Kokichi was still there, the laughing, happy Kokichi, as well as the more serious and emotional one. He's still here with me, even if he isn't here in the present moment.
Shuichi, you need to eat something soon or your instincts are going to kick in,
Cathy said from the entry into the room where I was with Kokichi.
Don't,
I warned, telling her in that one word how I didn't want to hear it. I didn't want to have to know it was only a matter of time until my vampire instincts are going to take over, and this could potentially kill Kokichi, because I was so needy of the filling feeling of drinking blood, and not having that release would make me savage, and the blood I would drain from him would be everything he has to offer.
But Shuichi, Kokichi needs to stay safe during this, and biting him isn't an option.
I shot her a glare, and she sighed before leaving the room again.
Just think about it, okay?
She said, leaving a glass of blood on the table. I wasn't sure if it was her own or from small animals, but the glass made my mouth water. I could drink the blood and this feeling would go away, but you can't. Kokichi needs you, and he needs you to stay until he wakes up. I sighed to myself and looked back to Kokichi.
please, wake up.
I whimpered, feeling more tears coming to my eyes.
I can't do this without you,
I said, letting the tears fall onto his chest. I felt so broken, so scattered, because without my other piece, I was broken, incomplete, fragmented, and only a part of myself.
Shuichi.
I heard a voice call out, but I wasn't sure who it could be.
Hello?
I asked out before I got very defensive.
If you're here to take Kokichi, you better fuck off now or I will end you.
I looked down, letting my hair cover my eyes.
Hey now, no need to be so rude.
I heard a teasing tone that reminded me of Kokichi. I moved my head up and quickly looked around me, trying to find the source of the voice.
Who are you?
I asked, letting the room go silent after.
Well, I would think you would know. You are a very talented detective, aren't you?
The teasing came again, and it made my heart twinge in pain. It felt like the voice was tormenting my heart because of how it reminded me of Kokichi. The times he would tease me and make my cheeks heat up. God, I miss him.
That may be true, but you need to show yourself.
I said, taking a defensive stance after standing up from my chair. I need to protect Kokichi if this is someone with that group. Which reminds me, Jodian died because of them. I looked back over at Kokichi before giving it an apologetic look.
Why so gloomy, Shuichi?
I heard the voice again, except this time there was another person in the room. She wore a dress that was blue. It had a short skirt with some tall black lace-up boots up to her upper thigh. The dress had sleeves that didn't cover her shoulder and a little ways down her arm, but then the sleeves connected to the dress a little above her elbow. The sleeve then opened wide and fell over her hands as they were wider at the end. Her hair was a darker blue that faded into a lighter blue and had white tips at the ends, and her skin was a dark shade of brown.
Who are you?
I asked again. She laughed at this and moved over to me. I flinched at this, but she quickly grabbed my chin and leaned my head back so I could look up at her. She was considerably tall. She was almost half a foot taller than me, but she was wearing heels, so that gives her an advantage.
I'm Hess, the fire spirit that now resides in your soul,
she said with a smile. I pulled my head out of her grip, which made her frown.
And Kokichi is caught in the purgatory of his mind, the place where he isn't dead, but is trapped unless his body accepts the wind spirit, Sin, who now possesses his body. So, my body must have already accepted you?
I asked, feeling genuinely confused as to why it was Kokichi who was in a coma because of this, and not me.
Well, you were definitely a special case. Your body accepted me almost instantly, so there was no issues with your transformation,
she said with a smile. I just bitterly scowled.
Then why is Kokichi trapped? And how can we save him?
I looked her in the eyes and her face went blank for a moment. This was before she laughed a bit.
Well, there is a way, but it's rather dangerous,
she smirked. I pushed down the urge to get embarrassed and spoke.
I'll do it,
I said confidently.
This is why we are already connected, soul in soul, heart in heart.
She put her hand over my heart and her heart for emphasis.
Yes, so about saving Kokichi,
I said, guiding the conversation back to the important issues.
Yes, you are very lucky, Shuichi, because this wouldn't be possible if Kokichi was possessed by the water spirit, or even the earth spirit. But lucky for you, air and fire are very compatible.
She smirked and walked her fingers up my chest, making me glare.
I see. So what do I have to do?
I asked again, feeling a little irritated because of how long this conversation was going.
You have to be able to use the connection you have to his emotions, to be able to transport your soul into his own. But in this process, I will be taking over your own body,
she said, making me shudder.
Promise you won't do anything to hurt Kokichi,
I said sternly. She just laughed a bit and crossed her heart with her finger.
Cross my heart and hope to fly.